best way of doing it is to imagine.
Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to take you along with me to show one day in the life of a small business owner. I have a business called 2 Days Off. I'll link it below. It's a climate conscious clothing line based in LA. And even though every day can kind of look totally different, I have a few typical things that I like to try and do each day. And so this is starting after I've made my coffee, made my bed, maybe done some stretches. I try to fit in some meditation or morning pages or something that's going to like center me and empty my head before I jump into emails, which is the next thing I go on to. So I typically, before I even get ready for the day, I try to knock out emails because it's one of my least favorite things. It's just keeping up with the inbox, not letting it get overwhelmed. I still struggle. But after I make my coffee and I just do like my first early morning activities, I try to knock out the priority emails pretty quickly. And yeah, that's just me getting into my inbox, anything that's due today, getting back to customers, getting back to vendors, and just anything that's high priority. Typically, I'll spend just 20 minutes or so. I try to keep this like really brief. And then once I knock out these emails, like the high priority ones, I start my day by getting dressed. I try to get dressed every day. Doesn't always happen, it totally depends. And some days I'll dress up a little bit more, especially if I'm staying in the house, I want to feel a little cuter. But if I'm running errands, it's just jeans and a top. Then I go on to have breakfast. This morning I'm just having a smoothie, a little bit lighter. Sometimes I'll make myself some eggs, maybe something fancier if it's like a really slow morning, but typically it's something quick. And then I plan out anything that needs to get done during the day. Usually this is already done, but this week I didn't do this on Monday, so I was just kind of going day by day. And now I'm like filling out the rest of the week, just making sure I have everything that I need to check off. And I even write tasks that I've already done on this list just to feel better about it. One thing I noticed when I was getting dressed is that my poor rubber tree really needed a water, so I decided to go around the house and just make sure everyone has had a good drink before I get back to work. I like to interrupt my days with things like this just because it just breaks up the day a little bit and it makes me feel like okay, I'm taking care of my space and my home. So once I wrap up some of these household to-dos, I get back into the office. I have a few orders to pack today, not a lot, thankfully, so just a couple that I'm going to put together. Packing orders is actually one of my favorite things. It's not something I get to do all the time, but I really enjoy it because it feels like packing gifts and I like seeing what people bought, and yeah, I just really, really enjoy it. It's the most real part of the work when you're kind of in emails a lot or on phone calls a lot. So it's nice to just have your eyes off of a screen and doing something thoughtful and, yeah, something in the real world, not just the digital one. Um, but after this, I do know that I have a lot more computer work to catch up with. A lot of planning for the holidays, making sure marketing campaigns are all set, and yeah, communicating with some of our factories. So yeah, it's getting back to it, but packaging pretty packages is always very satisfying and a nice way to ease back into the computer work. But before I do that, I have to have lunch. This is something that I really struggle with remembering to do. It's terrible. But since the pandemic started, my partner's been working from home also most days. Now he's back in the office once in a while. But yeah, it's been really nice to have him there because he never forgets to eat lunch. It is at the same time pretty much every day. It's a great lunch. So yeah, I'm actually sitting to enjoy lunch at a decent hour, which is a new phenomenon for me, and I'm really liking it. Right now, we are watching Seinfeld when we eat lunch. It's just classic. Come on, it's just fantastic. And it's less than 30 minutes long, so it's like the perfect lunch break length TV show. And it also feels like you're doing something kind of scandalous in the middle of the day watching television. So, yeah, it's pretty great. I enjoy these lunch breaks now. But then it's back to the computer work, as I mentioned earlier. I think that's where I'll end this video, just showing that, yeah, a lot of the work is just in front of a screen. Today, I'm primarily working on those marketing campaigns that I mentioned, some email newsletters, and then just any other emails that have been kind of like lower priority, knocking those out, and probably looking at some analytics, our sales for the month, stuff like that. So, yeah, doing a bit of that work. Hopefully, won't get distracted by anything else good that's going on in the inbox, which also also happens, of course. And yeah, anyway, I hope this was enlightening. Of course, every day doesn't look like this. This was just one day where I happened to be home all day, which is fantastic. No post office runs, no errands, no running downtown, none of that kind of stuff. Maybe I will do like a take you along with me to see what it's like when I have a high errand day. Like I usually try to batch all of my outside of the house activities on specific days where maybe I run downtown, I'm picking up samples or I'm picking up, production runs or, choosing fabric, stuff like that. Maybe I can do that at some point because that's a really fun part of the work that I do too. And it looks totally different from what today looked like. So, anyway, if you have any comments, questions, anything like that, please leave them down below. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was somewhat enlightening, um, maybe a little boring, which is always great. I love a boring work day. Okay, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.